Hello, I'm Debbie Bell Hosking for FinextraTV here at Sibos 2022 in Amsterdam. And joining me is Sophie Lagouanelle of LexisNexis Risk Solutions. We're talking about ISO20022. Sophie, welcome.
Thank you very much, Debbie.
Let's start off by asking you to please remind us, why do we need a new payment messaging standard like ISO20022, and how does it differ from what's already in the infrastructure?
The ISO20022 message standard is going to be a fundamental benefit for all the financial institutions who are finally going to be able to communicate with one common way, and it's going to provide a harmonization across globally, which will really help smoothen the process overall, as it's straight-through processing to the quality of each individual processes.
And how does that differ from what we already have?
If you can imagine, a message today is sort of a blob with the fields identified but not really structured. And if you can imagine this information, it's really tough to decipher what is what within the message. ISO 20022 is a structured payment format, so it suddenly becomes clear what is what in terms of the information that goes through. And that provides many opportunities.
And you're talking about that clarity, aren't you?
So visibility, clarity, ease of identification, to be able to pinpoint the information within the message that is used for each individual process much better.
And this process, ISO 20022, where do you see that having the biggest impact in the industry?
Well, where I stand from a financial crime fight, it is going to be really fundamental in terms of increasing the quality of screening. And be able to communicate in a better fashion between financial institutions when they need to, as well as being able to automate a lot of the processes that are today manual or exception-based.
And we're talking about ISO 20022. We've been talking about it for some time. How can businesses and institutions ensure a smooth migration to ISO 20022?
What they do need is to get ready. We know about the coexistence period that is going to run until November 2025. Now, what we see is that a lot of our clients have reduced, I would say, the pace of adapting thanks to this coexistence period. They do need to get ready now because in addition to the structure, there's also a lot richer information, expandable information, which may get truncated if they do pseudo-compliance, which a lot of them are going to do, coexisting MT and MX formats, continuing to go through the MT structure transformed into MX. There's a risk of losing some key information there. So it's important for a smooth transition to start now, look at each payment type, and being able to have a specific mapping rules in place and test across little by little, maybe data flow per data flow, how it's going to go into the MX, so that not everything gets done in the last year.
So you're talking about people getting on board sooner than later, and you're talking about that key information that might be missed, but also there's a rise in financial crime. So what role do you see ISO 20022 in payment screening processes?
We've worked a lot with our clients actually to help them go through this transition, but to go beyond with our obsession, which is how do we make screening as efficient and effective as possible so that we actually stop criminal activity to go through. And it's giving an excellent opportunity through these fields that are now identified to be able to create relevant alerts, so avoid creating some of the matches that just don't make sense by identifying better the payment information and matching it to the watch lists. So it's an opportunity of reducing noise in screening that is great, and we're actually releasing modules that are just there to increase the effectiveness.
Sophie, thank you so much for your insight as this ISO 20022 journey continues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Debbie.